Assalamualaikum Mas Tegar, bisa cek sound?
Bisa Pak Nur,
Oh, jelas ya.
jelas Pak Nur.
Ya, nah, tunggu. Itu saya bisa, anu ya Mas, nek misalnya saya paralelkan, apa namanya Mas? Namanya Mas? Ke Facebook saya gitu, Facebook account saya bisa. Nggak bisa ya. YouTube, yang YouTube linknya.
Bisa. Kalau untuk linknya bisa Pak Nur.
Oh, bisa ya.
Kalau untuk live streamingnya sebenarnya bisa tapi harus dari sini.
Oh iya, ora usah anunya aja linknya nanti.
Oke,
Siap.
bisa.
Ya, thank you. Kita nunggu dulu pembicaranya.
Oke Pak Nur, sami-sami.
Oke, Mas.
langsung buka kita. Teng teng teng teng.
Ya, ada betul? Betul. Banyak. Kayaknya bukan dari PAI doang ya? Bukan dari PAI doang. Ini siapa? Ada apa? Tamam, Taufat, Ijal, Iqlal. Tahu ini siapa? Muhammad Yamin. Cep. Oh, on weekend.
Ya boleh, cuma nggak yang iya takut cuy.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone, especially student. Would you please to uh, turn on your camera because two speakers coming from very far remote area from Turkey, from Asia, fortunately through Zoom, has have come and then attended this online meeting. So we will start our international public lecture. Again, thank you very much to our brothers. First of all, Associate Professor Dr. Abdurrahman Hendek. Thank you very much for attending this online meeting, brother.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And secondly, Associate Professor Dr. Mustafa Fatih. Thank you very much for coming, brother, to this online meeting. Yeah, you are still mute, brother. Brother Mustafa, you are still muted. Yeah. All right. Again, thank you also to all student coming to this online session with two speakers from Turkey, especially Dr. Abdurrahman Hendek and Dr. Mustafa Fatih. The students are right now taking three different modules. The first module is Islamic school or madrasah culture. The second module is educational leadership. And the third module is English for academic purposes. Right. Basically, they are all students. Many of them right now in the sixth semester, and the rest of the student coming or attending this online session are in the first year of their study here in the Faculty of Islamic Studies in Civilization, especially in the Department of Islamic Religious Education at Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta or University of Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta, Indonesia. Brother Abdurrahman and Brother Mustafa, I will try to use both English and Indonesian. Hopefully that you are happy to hear some word in Bahasa Indonesia. And also some of our students as well interested in knowing and then listening to some words, some sentences in Turkish. Maybe you may not be you may be okay to introduce some word or sentences to our student, because right now we are encouraging our student to take student exchange program as well, and some of universities in Turkey also part of our partners, our university, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. So hopefully that this communication, this relationship will be firmly held, and we are able to be encouraged to escalate as well, to have a kind of memorandum of understanding or memorandum of action between our university. Basically, right now is the initial meeting for us, and we are having many students here, more or less 75 students coming to this online session. Terima kasih kepada adik-adik semua. Kita akan menyimak dua famous lecturers from Turkish universities, ya, membawakan satu tema yang sangat penting, dan saya akan membacakan terlebih dahulu dua short bios dari dua pembicara ini. First of all, the first speaker or the first lecturer is Associate Professor Abdurrahman Hendek. He is Associate Professor of Religious Education at Sakarya University, Sakarya, Turkey. His academic interests include religious education policy, teacher education, homeschooling, Hifz, and comparative religious education. The second speaker is Dr. Mustafa Fatih. Dr. Mustafa Fatih is an associate professor of religious education at Akdeniz University, Antalya, Turkey. His academic interests include higher religious education, religious culture, and ethic course, Imam Khatib schools, Hifz education, and moral education. And the topic we are going to talk about, and we are listening to both speakers, are very specific and special, I think. And the topic is the Imam Khatib model. The Imam Khatib model, Islamic education within a secular state system. All right, we will be listening to both speakers. Brother Abdurrahman and Brother Mustafa, who will be the first speaker.
Selamünaleyküm. Hayırlı
Salam.
sabahlar.
Okay, Brother Mustafa. Okay, now it's your turn. How are you, Brother Mustafa?
Fine, I'm good. Very, very good and excited.
All right, thank you very much, brother. Would you please to then start your presentation? We will have more or less 1 hour and 15. So perhaps between you, Brother Mustafa and Brother Abdurrahman, could then share the time, more or less 1 hour, and then the last 15 minutes we are able to have discussion. Okay, Brother Mustafa, time's yours.
Thank you very much. Türkçe birkaç cümleyle hem Abdurrahman Hocama da seslenmiş olayım. Kafamızda bir plan vardı ya Abdurrahman abi, onu aktaralım isterseniz. moderatör ve şey gibi senin sunumun olmadığın meselesini.
Okay. Assalamualaikum again, brothers and sisters. It is nice to meet you, even through Zoom. And inshallah, one day we can meet together face to face, inshallah, in
Amin,
Turkey or
inshallah.
in Indonesia. So this is our plan. Brother Mustafa Fatih I will do a presentation about Imam Hatip schools in Turkey. So Imam Hatip schools are religious schools, Islamic religious schools, which is unique to Turkey, but have, I think, similarities and differences with other Islamic schools in other parts of the world. So maybe after the presentation, you can share some of your thoughts about these schools, whether they are similar or different to Islamic religious schools in Indonesia. So I will be a kind of moderator for this talk. So the presentation will be done by Mustafa Fatih, and then I think after the presentation, we might have discussion and questions and also comparison with Islamic schools in Indonesia. So that's the plan. And I hope that will be beneficial to all of us, inshallah. So,
Inshallah.
Brother Mustafa Fatih, so you can start your presentation. So we will have some Turkish words as well in the meantime. Fatih Hocam, başlayabilirsiniz.
Tamamdır. Teşekkür ediyorum. Thank you very much. Slaytı hazırlamaya çalışıyorum. Şu anda ekran görünüyor galiba.
So you can see the presentation, right? I can see.
Yeah, perfect. We
Okay.
can see the presentation. We can see your
Herkes,
PPT, brother.
okay, herkes görebiliyor.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum, dear friends. It is still morning here in Turkey. While I know it's already afternoon for you, we have a beautiful saying, may this time of yours be blessed. So let me start with that. Bu zamanınız hayırlı olsun. Türkçe, in Turkish. Even though Indonesia and Turkey are worlds apart geographically, our people feel so close and sincere to one another. Today, I'm here not just to share some information, but to have a genuine conversation with you all. I would like to thank my brother Nurwanto for making this happen. And with that, let's get started. My presentations, the Imam Hatip model, Islamic education within a secular system, in a secular state system. Imam Hatip schools are a unique Turkish educational model that integrates modern high school subjects with religious studies, carrying a tradition that began in the Ottoman era. Although the Ottoman Empire, Osmanlı İmparatorluğu in Turkish, underwent various educational experience over many years, its primary educational institutions were named madrasa. Different types of madrasas operated according to various specialist purposes. The historical foundation of these schools dates back to 1913 with establishment of Madrasatul E'imme vel Hutaba in now Imam Hatip Okulu. Originally part of a reform program to train religious officials, this institution laid the groundwork for the modern Imam Hatip schools we see today. With the proclamation of the Republic, Cumhuriyet in Turkish, on October 29, 1923, the Republic of Turkey, Cumhuriyeti in now, established as the successor to the Ottoman Empire, implemented radical changes in many fields. Founding of the Republic after 1923, Turkey implemented radical reforms in education and administration. Unification of education in 1924, the Tevhidi Tedrisat law unified all schools under the Ministry of National Education. Closing the madrasas, following this law, traditional madrasas were officially closed to modernize the system. Co-education, this period also laid the groundwork for the modern co-educational system we use today. Under the Tevhid Tedrisat Kanunu, the law on unification of education. For your Imam Hatip Mektep, Imam Hatip schools were established, allowing primary school graduates to continue their education. The curriculum planned for these schools.
Brother Mustafa, so is that possible to have a presentation mode? Sunum modunu alabilir miyiz?
Onu fark edemedim ama şey yapmak istemedim. Şu ekran kapatıyor.
So en altta sağda presentation.
Bu şey sorayım aslında. Slide'dan mı yapacağız şeyden?
Slide'dan.
Slide'ın kendisinden mi?
Aynen. En altta şey var.
Bir dakika. Şurada mı?
Aynen.
O zaman şu yerleşim.
Yes, I think that's better.
Okay.
Senin için iyi mi?
İyi.
Okay,
Daha
good.
iyi. Thank you very much. Under the Tevhid Tedrisat Kanunu, the law on unification of education, four-year Imam Hatip mektepleri were established, allowing primary school graduates to continue their education. The curriculum planned for these schools was comprehensive, including both religious and modern science. This course in İmam Hatip, Kur'an-ı Kerim, İlmi Tevhid, Arabi, Hitabet, Ahlak, Geography, History, very course. In 1927, the roles of din görevliliği, religious official and imams were removed from the scope of civil service status. Consequently, interest in İmam Hatip mektepleri declined significantly because imams veya religious officials removed from the scope of civil service status. By the year 1930, these schools were officially closed due to the lack of enrollment. He is Ahmet Hamdi Akseki, President of Religious Affairs, served from 1947 to 1951. Ahmet Hamdi Akseki, in a formal report, complained about the severe shortage of imams and hatips to lead prayers and deliver khutbah to the public in mosques. He reported that in some village, funerals remained unattended for days because there was no one to perform the burial rites. Furthermore, he warned that various superstitions and false heretics, said religious orders, were spreading across every corner of the country. He is Tahsin Bangoğlu, the Minister of Education of the period. Hasan Tahsin Bangoğlu also provided detailed information on this matter, stating that the public's most significant grievances during this era were the issues of religious service, specifically the lack of individuals to perform funeral prayers and burial rites and religious education. In face of this widespread need, felt not only by the public, but also by some intellectuals, politicians, and 10-mount education institution named the İmam Hatip Kursu, was established for the first time on January 15, 1949, in both Istanbul and Ankara. Ankara is the capital city of Turkey. These schools were subject to constant change depending on the political atmosphere of the country. For instance, during certain periods, Imam Hatip graduates were prevented from continuing their higher education at universities by keeping their exam coefficient low during the calculation of their entrance score. With Recep Tayyip Erdogan coming to power in 2002, these schools gained a significant sphere of influence. Having graduated from the Istanbul Imam Hatip School in 1973, Recep Tayyip Erdogan places great importance on Imam Hatip schools. According to current data, 2024-2025, from the General Directorate of Religious Education, there are approximately 4,500 Imam Hatip schools in Turkey, with a total student population of around 4,800. Imam Hatip school structure. Today, Imam Hatip schools are structured across two levels. Four-year Imam Hatip middle schools, which accepted graduates of the four-year primary school system, and four-year high schools, which are open the middle school graduates. Imam Hatip high school and middle schools, while adhering to the curriculum of the Minister of National Education, provide an education that combines standard science and social science with an intensive focus on religious vocational course. These specialist courses include Quran-ı Kerim, Arabça, Tefsir, Hadis, Fıkıh, Islamic jurisprudence, Siyar, Life of the Prophet, as well as Foundation Islamic Science. In recent years, a significant program diversity has been implemented within Imam Hatip School. Program diversity in Imam Hatip schools, for example, Anatolian Imam Hatip High School, Project Anatolian Imam Hatip High School, Imam Hatip Middle School, Imam Hatip's implementing the Hafiz Project, International Anatolian Imam Hatip High School. The picture is International Anatolian Imam Hatip High School. Very different country from country students, and with foreign language preparatory courses, implementing art music programs. Although originally founded to train male religious officials, Imam Hatip schools evolved into broader institution for religious education. In the 1970s, as female students began to apply, the Council of State, in Turkish, Danıştay, ruled that learning religious knowledge is the right of every citizen. As a result, girls have been officially enrolled in these schools since 1976. Families choose Imam Hatip schools so their children can receive a modern education while learning and practicing their religion. The primary goal is to raise up professionals such as doctors and engineers who are well preserved in Islamic principles. Administratively, teachers and principals in these schools, civil servants, devlet memuru in Turkish, appointed by the state. Interestingly, many educators who are themselves Imam Hatip graduates often specifically prefer to work in this institution, fulfilling their roles within the framework of national education regulation. Imam Hatip school culture represents a profound network of institutional memory and social capital that transcends physical boundaries, deepening its impact through academic, artistic, and civil society dimensions. The concept of Zulcenahayn. The term Zulcenahayn, literally double-fingered, refers to the Islamic ideal of balanced personality. It emphasizes that a person needs both material and spiritual competitions to succeed, and as one cannot fly with only a single wing. The four pillars of being Zulcenahain in innovative culture: balance of reason and heart. The wing of reason represents positive science, language, technology, and critical thinking. The wing of heart represents revelation, spiritual depth, decency, and composition. Harmony of this world and hereafter. This principle encourages balancing worldly success with spiritual duty. It emphasizes excelling in secular professions like medicine or law, while performing them with a sense of religious devotion and service. Synthesis of science, ilim, and wisdom, irfan. Ilim, irfan in Turkish and Arabic. Knowledge alone is insufficient. It must be blended with wisdom and insight. Material science, disciplines like mathematics, physics, and biology that enable the cultivation of the world. Abdurrahman Hocam, bu material science doğru mu? Yoksa positive science, material?
Well, Imam Hatip schools has subjects, courses like mathematics, physics, and biology.
Okay.
So we sometimes call it material sciences. So what do you call in Indonesia? Is this academic sciences, academic courses?
Yeah, academic courses, yeah.
Academic courses says disciplines like mathematics, physics, and biology. Spiritual science, disciplines like tafsir, hadith, and fiqh that help one understand the purpose of exercise. Zulcenahain perspective, the ability of young student performing a laboratory experiment to simultaneously contemplate the creator of that order. Tradition and modernity, gelenek ve modernite in Turkish. Being Zulcenahain means remaining rooted in the past tradition while masterfully utilizing the tools of the present and future modernity. It is the ambition of being a future with roots in the past. Kökü mazide olan bir ati, in Turkish, Türkçe söyleyelim, Yahya Kemal Beyatlı'nın güzel bir şiiri. It is a famous poem in Turkish. Intellectual and literary focus, the dergigah tradition, literary circles. Imam Hatip culture serves as a modern literary circle, edebiyat mahfili, where many writers began their careers through school magazines and wall newspapers. Magazine culture, the magazine Tohum by Önder, is the community's primary intellectual publication. Foundations, school, libraries, introduction students to key thinkers like Sezai Karakoç, Nuri Pakdil, and Necip Fazıl. Do you know this name? Did you hear this name? Necip Fazıl or Nuri Pakdil, Sezai Karakoç?
So these are famous Turkish poets. Have you heard any of these names? Sezai Karakoç, Nuri Pakdil, and Necip Fazıl. Actually, they wrote in Turkish. So in Turkey, they are very famous, but we are not sure about whether they are known or not in other parts of Islamic countries. So is there anyone who heard these names? No, I think.
That it is something new. What is the meaning of, is it tahum or T and H-U-M? What does it mean?
Tohum.
Tohum, all right. What does it mean,
tohum,
brother?
Seed.
Oh, right, seed,
Yeah.
biji. In Bahasa Indonesia, in Indonesian language, called biji, seed, biji, yeah.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
devam edelim herhalde.
Yeah.
The Imam Hatip culture maintains an aesthetic stance from framework of permissible boundaries, ezgi and original music born out of the social political climate of the 1990s. The ezgi in genre became the anthems of these schools. Artists such as Mehmet Emin Ay, Eşref Ziya Terzi, Ömer Karaoğlu, Hakan Albayrak, and Mustafa Demirci translated the sorrows and ideals of the Imam Hatip yahut into musical notes. Burada tekrar bir müzik arası şey yapabiliriz. Birkaç müzik dinletebiliriz. Kısaca en azından birkaç dakika.
So Imam Hatip schools are very famous. So there are musics about them. So there are many musics. So we call them ilahiyat nasheeds. So Brother Fatih would like to make you listen one of them, I think.
Şu an ses geliyor mu?
Yok.
Tekrar
No,
paylaşmaya
can you hear?
Şuradan tekrar paylaşalım. Muhtemelen şimdi gelecek. Geldi mi? Can you hear this music?
No, I can't hear. Anyone can hear?
Sen duyabiliyor musun Atran abi?
Yeah,
Yok, ben duyuyorum.
we cannot hear the music. Yeah.
So onlar da duyamıyorlar.
Sesi paylaş. Şimdi muhtemelen gelecek.
Yeah. Okay.
Tek olsun Fatih'in yadigarı, dua çıkarken niyazım semalara. Selam sana Mustafa'm, selam İmam Hatipli. Dua çıkarken niyazım semalara. Selam sana Mehmet'im, selam İmam Hatipli. Kalbimize taht kurdun, fethettin gönülleri. Fethin mübarek olsun Fatih'in yadigarı. Dua çıkarken niyazım semalara. Selam sana Ahmet'im, selam İmam Hatipli. Artık başını gül alnın parıldasın. Işık saçsın etrafa, tüm cihan aydınlansın. Kaldır artık başını gül alnın parıldasın. Işık saçsın etrafa, tüm cihan aydınlansın. Çağımın ruhu hasta, nurunla şifa bulsun. Selam sizden yayılan güzel nidaya selam. Çağımın ruhu hasta.
Another one.
Hakkın adıyla başlasın kutlu seferin. Dost doğru yolda yürü İmam Hatipli. Hakkın adıyla başlasın kutlu seferin. Dost doğru yolda yürü İmam Hatipli. Bekliyor nice mazlum çaresiz seni. Sahipsiz bırakma masum elleri. Şimdi asil ecdadın devir teslimi. Yine veriyor sana şanlı görevi. Allah aşkıyla donsun taşsın yüreğin. Kur'an kılavuz sana sünnet rehberin. Varisi ol sen de şanlı ceddinin. Sensin umut haydi İmam Hatiplim. Yine de sen al eline al bayrağı, çık şu yüce burçlara. Yine de sen sımsıkı tut kitabını İmam Hatiplim. Yine de sen al eline al bayrağı, çık şu yüce burçlara. Yine de sen sımsıkı tut kitabını İmam Hatiplim. Alemlere rahmetiyle gelen son nebi, müjdeledi senin gibi imanlı genci. Merhamete muhtaç onca nesiller, nice bir zamandır hep seni bekler. Müjdesine layık ol kutlu rehberin, yol onun yoludur, odur el emin. Sarsa da ufkunu kara bulutlar, solsa da yeşeren taze umutlar. Her gecenin elbet bir sabahı var, sensin doğan güneş.
Another one.
Asım'ın nesli gibi yüce bir neslin, İmam Hatipli denen fidanıyız biz. Üç kıtaya uzanmış nurlu bir elin, cihat ruhu taşıyan nişanıyız biz. Asım'ın nesli gibi yüce bir neslin, İmam Hatipli denen fidanıyız biz. Üç kıtaya uzanmış nurlu bir elin, cihat ruhu taşıyan nişanıyız biz. Varsın kabul etmesin tağutlar bizi, varsın sarmasın çil çil yakutlar bizi. Binler kutlamıyorsa bir kutlar bizi, yarınların sultanı Hakan'ıyız biz. Varsın kabul etmesin tağutlar bizi, varsın sarmasın çil çil yakutlar bizi. Dinler kutlamıyorsa bir kutlar bizi, yarınların sultanı Hakan'ıyız biz. Yarınların sultanı Hakan'ıyız biz. Kokmayan dünya dar gelir bize, bir sancağın altında yar gelir bize. O sancağın yolcusu kervanıyız biz. Boyunduruk altları ar gelir bize. Zafer
Minta kelasnya diganti ini karena beliau yang iniin. Kayak apa namanya?
Kitap bize mi?
Mainan game.
Yeah, I think we can continue. Devam edebiliriz.
Tamam. Slide. Musical notes. Then traditional arts. Many schools house workshop for calligraphy, art. This picture. elimination tested, and marbling Ebru. This is considered a method of discipline, terbiye, that enables students to resist the rapid pace of the modern world through petition and aesthetics. Civil society and alumni network, the WEFA loyalty ecosystem. Lifelong belonging. The graduation marks the start of the lifelong solidarity network rather than and. K organization, Önder, an influential NGO that shapes educational policy and connects generations. İlim Yayma Society provides essential financial aid, scholarship, and housing for students. Ensar Foundation specializes in non-formal religious and values-based education outside the classroom. Global mission. International Imam Hatip schools, this culture has evolved from local identity into a global educational model. International Anatolian Imam Hatip high schools, by hosting students from dozens of countries across the Balkans, Africa, Central Asia, and for years, these schools serve as a mikrokosm of the ümmet coğrafyası, gönül coğrafyası. This reflects a global vision of educational leadership and across cultural unity. Hutbe competitions, hitabet yarışmaları, ezan recitation competitions, young Bilals, ezan recitation competitions in name, young Bilals, Quran recitation competitions, hafız memorization competitions, hafızlık yarışmaları. This competitions picture ezan, hutbe, Kur'an-ı Kerim. The traditional pilav days. In Turkish pilav, rice, geleneksel pilav günleri. The most significant ritual that renews the bond between alumni, students, and teachers in picture. Imam Hatip School are institutions established by this nation with its own core values, whose essence has been inspired and created by the people themselves. Terime, Kasih, Ates, Perhatiyan, Anda.
Thank you very much, brother.
Eyvallah.
So it was a nice presentation which summarized Imam Hatip schools in Turkey. As I said in the beginning, I think we can talk about these schools and also make comparisons with Islamic schools in Indonesia or maybe Malaysia or in other Islamic countries. So as you can see the history, these schools are opened, then closed, then opened again. So that's because of secular education policies. So these schools have a rough time in the past, but currently they thrive. I think there are around 5,000 Imam Hatip schools currently in Turkey. Fatih Hocam, 5.000 civarı İmam Hatip var diye ben en son biliyorum.
Evet.
Around 5,000 İmam Hatip schools, which corresponds to 20% of public schooling. Yani devlet okullarının %20'sine denk geliyor aşağı yukarı. So these schools try to integrate Islamic education with academic education, and around 30 or 40% of their curriculum is left to Islamic education. Again, I will ask to Fatih Hoca in Turkish. So bunların müfredatları %30 ya da artık 40 bir ara deniyordu ama şu an %30 sanırım. İslami.
O civarlarda dersler var. İslamic kurs.
So around 30% to Islamic education, like Akida, Tafsir, Hadith, Sira, Quran, Arabic courses, and 70% or around 70% to academic subjects like mathematics, history, geography, science courses. So there is also international Imam Hatip schools, and these schools are only for foreign Muslim students. So students from different parts of the world, they can come to Turkey and they can study there. And there are scholarship for these schools, so they can apply for scholarship. I think the students here they are too old to go to these schools, but maybe their siblings, their brothers, maybe their relatives might want to go there. So if they think, so these are good schools, they are international schools. They have classes in English and also in Turkish, so they will have a chance to learn Turkish as well. So Imam Hatip schools are secondary schools. That's important. So we don't have primary Imam Hatip schools. Bunu bahsetmiş miydik ilkokul olmadığını? Çünkü
Evet. O ilkokul mezunları graduated primary school diye geçti. Onu söyledik.
Yok. İlkokul İmam Hatip yok o anlamda.
Ya ilkokul mezunları giriyor. O sistemde vardı da
Aynen.
yani daha detaylı anlatılabilir.
Aynen. So that might be different to different Islamic schools, but Imam Hatip schools are secondary schools. So we don't have primary Imam Hatip schools. So if you want to go to Imam Hatip school, you have to be a graduate of primary school. So I'm not sure about Indonesia.
Excuse me, Brother Abdurrahman. Shouldn't study at the Imam Hatip school? How long they study for this? 6 years or 3 years?
It is 8 years.
8 years.
8 years.
All right.
So it is, Fatih Hocam?
4 for middle, for high school.
Yeah,
and independent. For example, for middle school and graduated, other high school go to.
Yeah, so it is 8 years. So 4 years middle secondary school, and 4 years upper high school. We can call it. So as Fatih Hoca said, you can do it independently. So you can go to middle secondary school, and after this you can go to another high school, not Imam Hatip school, if you want. So you can study 4 and 4 independently. You don't have to study 8 in total.
Şeyi de vurgulayabiliriz. Okulların siyasetle, yani özellikle toplumun ve devletin farklı perspektifleri olduğu. Bir de şey var. Diyelim, İmam Hatip'in üniversiteye giriş yasağı, işte ona göre ağırlıkları, onlardan da kısaca bahsedebilirsin tekrar. Slaytta vardı ama.
So is there a question?
Okay, student, ada pertanyaan? Is there any question? Apakah ada pertanyaan?
Saya, Pak.
Okay, Filza. Yeah, please, Filza.
Thank you, sir, about your explanation of Imam Hatip test. My question is, you mentioned before that the subjects depends on political atmosphere at there. And how about right now, and what the meaning of it? Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, Filza, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yani politika ile bağlantılı olduğunu, işlenen konuların, okulların olduğunu söylediniz ve şu anki durum nedir ve bu hani politika ile ilgili olması ne anlama geliyor?
Tayyip Erdoğan go on, Imam Hatip go on. Tayyip Erdoğan maazallah went to go Imam Hatip's weekly.
So you know, Turkey is a secular country. So the fate of Islamic schools very much depend on the government, the political government. So if the political government supports them, they thrive, and if the political government doesn't support them, so imam schools start to have problems. And in the past, they are closed actually because of this political pressure. If the public, the society actually wants them, demands them. So there is a huge demand from the society, but you know the politics might be different. So it depends on the political government who is in power. So that affects these schools. Even the subjects, even the courses taught in these schools can be different from government to government. So currently there is a kind of Islamic government in Turkey. So Islamic party, let's say. Maybe you heard that name, Recep Tayyip Erdogan. So probably you heard this name. I think he has a good relationship with President of Indonesia as well. So he is a graduate of Imam School. Our current president is a graduate of Imam School. So for him, these schools are important. So these schools are thriving right now. So that's I think that's the answer of sister's question.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. So I have a question actually. What are the differences and similarities between imam schools and, let's say, pesantren or madrasa in Indonesia?
Maybe about the durations schools, like you talked before that, until 8th grades, right? In here, we are also have a senior high school and junior high school, like them.
Okay, thank you. So is there anyone else who want to answer the question or share his or her thoughts?
Yeah, I will add something. From Filza, one of our students in semester 6. Basically, Brother Abdurrahman and Brother Mustafa, in Indonesian context, pesantren is a still traditional type of Muslim education.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, Pak.
Generally, yeah.
But there are modern pesantren. I'm sure.
Yeah. Of course, there are modern pesantren called traditional and modern, but modern here because pesantren has include madrasah managed inside the pesantren. Usually, a student beside living in pesantren or boarding school, Islamic boarding school, in the days they are learning in madrasah. And in some of the curriculum, of course, as you said, I think generally speaking, let's say 50% curriculum provided in relation with Islamic religious education in general, including Aqidah, Akhlaq, Fiqh, Tasawwuf, Arabic, right? Many of them, I mean, madrasah managed by private or community, private institution or community, but many madrasah, especially state-based madrasah, of course, managed by the ruling government, especially under the Ministry of Religious Affairs. But something different, I think, Imam Khatib Sul, as I hear from you, it is public vocational school, right? Specialist in Islamic education, preparing young generation to be understanding and mastering Islamic education. And if that is right, I think in Indonesian context, so far that vocational schools is something different because vocational school usually in Indonesian context only focusing on, let's say, economic benefit, preparing young generation to have jobs, something like that. But here, perhaps to some extent, Imam Khatib school as closely similar to pesantren or traditionally speaking, or madrasah. Yeah, that is modern madrasah, modern pesantren, or madrasah include madrasah, the type of Islamic schools in general, because in Indonesian context, the curriculum provided consisting of let's say secular or general sciences and Islamic sciences. Yeah.
Imam schools are public schools, so there is no private Imam schools. So I think that's another difference, maybe. So as I understand from your insights, there might be some traditional pesantren who are not state sponsored, right? They are community-based schools.
Yeah.
So in Turkey, in Turkey, that's not possible. So all Imam Hatip schools are state schools. Actually, they are supported by the state. They are governed by the state, and they are governed by Ministry of National Education, not the Ministry of Religious Affairs.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, another difference. Imam Hatip schools were established as vocational schools. We still use this term, vocational school, meslek lisesi, meslek okulu. But currently they are not vocational schools anymore. Yani şu an meslek okulu değiller aslında. Because their graduates can go to any faculty, any department they wish if they have enough scores from the university exams. So Imam Hatip means, Imam, you use this term, right? Imam and also Hatip. So Imam means like Imam in the mosques. So these schools originally were established to train imams, but not now actually. Currently, they train imams as well, but also many of their graduates go to other departments, other faculties, universities. So they can be medics, they can be, let's say, public administrators or engineers. So currently they are not vocational schools anymore. Fatih Hocam, bu konuyla ilgili var mı söylemek istediğin bu? Yani...
Slide'da vardı zaten. Slide'da toplumun dinini öğrenmek için gelmesi meselesi. It is now.
Yeah. For society, these schools are, are for to learn your religion. At the same time, you learn other subjects, other general subjects. Okay. Is there any other question or insights from?
Ada pertanyaan atau komentar boleh, atau menambahkan tadi misalnya penjelasan menurut pengalaman kalian, ya, from your point of view, based on your experience, because Brother Abdurrahman and Brother Mustafa, there are also some international students coming from Bangladesh, Cambodia, and Philippines as well, coming to this online session. Perhaps they are able to share as well about the development of madrasah Islamic schools compared to Imam Khatib school in Turkey. Mahfuz, wanna say something, Mahfuz?
Yeah, actually, I want to share the history of madrasah in Bangladesh, something like this. So, first of all, thank you for the presentation from Mustafa Fatih I, Professor, and the explanation from Abdurrahman Hendek. So, basically, I'm from Bangladesh and I'm an international student at University of Muhammadiyah, Yogyakarta, and my major is Islamic education. So, basically, in my country, in Bangladesh, if I categorize, there are three kinds of madrasa. The first one is the traditional madrasa, and the second one is the school, secular school, and the third one is madrasa aliyah. That is also secular based. That is organized by the government. So compared to Imam Khatib school, I think it's different to Bangladesh, because still we are having some madrasa. They are taught the basic Islamic knowledge, and they're emphasized on like Arabic book, and then still they're studying from Arabic book, and it's fully Arabic. So this one called traditional madrasa, or there is one in like in India or Indian subcontinent. There is a madrasa called Deoband. If you know, if you hear this, Deoband, it's also very famous in Indian subcontinent or South Asian countries. And also there is one name called Qawmi Madrasa. Qawmi Madrasa. So this one is fully traditional madrasa that is removed by secular government from Turkey. So I think this was the similar like Indonesia. But there are other madrasa like Madrasa Aliyah. There are, I think, 60 or 60% Arabic or Islamic education are there, and 40% is secular education. And the school is totally like secular, but there are maybe one course or one subject is Islamic education, and that is very low number of Islamic education in there in the secular schools that provided from the government. Okay, that's all.
Right. Yeah. Thank you, Mahfouz.
Thank you, Brother Mahfouz. It is always exciting to hear Islamic education in different Muslim countries. You know, we would like to learn all of them. Inshallah, maybe another day we can have another talk, and in that we can talk about Islamic education, Islamic schools in Bangladesh or in other Muslim countries.
Yeah, inshallah. Yeah.
So I'd like to add one thing. I think Fatih Hocam hani bu geleneksel medrese oralarda hala devam ediyor. Bizde hani bunlar kaldırıldı ama işte merdiven altı devam edenler var. Hani bunlardan bahsedelim mi?
Ya kurumsal bir şey olmadığı için köklü bir gelenekleri de yok aslında. Yani kafaları karışır mı bilmiyorum da. Kısaca belki söylenebilir. Ama bir şey yok. Kurumsal bir kimlik yok. Kafa karıştırmayalım istersen.
Tamam. Yes, yeah.
The name of madrasa or institution of madrasa still over there in Turkey, Brother Abdurrahman and Brother
Yeah, actually
Mustafa.
we were talking about this.
Şu olabilir Abdurrahman Hocam. Medrese kavramının aslında Türkiye'de kullanıldığını ama bu anlamda geleneksel bir okul modelini hani bazı cemaatler, tarikatlar diyor ya onlar gibi. Bazı işte kısaca bahsedebilirsin. Onu sordu zaten.
So, madrasa was abolished in 1924 in Turkey. So, actually, if you look at the history, the madrasa was established in 1067 by Nizam al-Mulk. So the first madrasa was established by a Turkish statesman. And then another Turkish statesman, Atatürk, abolished madrasa in 1924. That's interesting fact. So in Turkey, officially, madrasa system was abolished. And instead of madrasa system, we have currently Imam Hatip schools for secondary students. And Ilahiyat faculties for higher education. So 2 different schools were opened in the same date, in 1924. But some Islamic communities, they use madrasa, but they are not official schools actually. They are kind of extracurricular schools or supplementary schools, let's say. They can still have madrasa. They still have this, Dars Nizami. Have you heard that name, Dars Nizami? That's kind of Arabic subjects, Arabic books. Say they start from Emsile, Bina, Maksud, so traditional learning of Arabic. So we still have this kind of schools, but they're not official schools. They don't give any, certificate or diploma. But you can still go there. So if you're a Imam Hatip student, you can still go these schools as supplementary schools, and you can learn, traditional Arabic, traditional books. It is the same traditional system, but they are not part of education system.
Yeah.
Bu İmam Hatip okulları onlar için de özgün bir model miymiş? Onu sorabiliriz belki. Şimdi biz
Well,
anlattık.
do you think that this Imam Hatip school is a kind of a model? Is it like a model unique to Turkey, or do you think that it is very similar to Islamic schools in other Muslim countries? What do you think? It is unique to Turkey, or it is very similar to other Islamic schools in other Muslim countries? Brother Nurbanto or anyone else? Well, maybe I want to answer.
Ya, hello student, setelah mendengar kalian penjelasan mengenai Imam Hatip School ya, satu jenis bentuk sekolah vokasional milik negara, dibiayai negara, tetapi spesifik untuk menyiapkan pada umumnya, secara umum sesuai namanya ya, menyiapkan para imam, ahli dalam bidang agama gitu, dan pembelajarannya selama 4 tahun atau 8 tahun. Seperti Erdogan atau presiden sekarang itu juga lulusan dari Imam Khatib ini. Ya, mereka setelah itu kemudian bisa memilih kampus manapun untuk belajar itu. Nah, menurut kalian, para mahasiswa, apakah ini satu kekhasan itu, keunikan ya, uniqueness of Imam Khatib School in Turkey compared to madrasah, sekolah, Islamic school in other countries, in Muslim countries seperti Indonesia. Apa yang bisa kalian peroleh hal baru dari penjelasan tadi misalnya? Adik-adik sekalian ada komentar atau pertanyaan boleh? Yeah, Brother Abdurrahman and Brother Mustafa, maybe we are able to look at some specific aspect of Imam Khatib School by listening to what you explained before regarding, let's say, the culture, the values, arts, like provided and taught in Islamic, Imam Khatib School. I think we can see that Islamic values are embedded in the process of, let's say, culture and tradition of Imam Khatib School, right? Instead of becoming isolated, let's say, subject, yeah, or the separated subject provided in Imam Khatib School. What do you think about the culture or tradition you mentioned? Whether like arts, songs, right? Singing a song in Islamic, or bringing all together Islamic values, are they common in Imam Khatib School?
Yeah, I think so. So we say that Imam Hatip soul, Imam Hatip ruhu, ruhu Imam Hatip. So if you go to Imam Hatip, you always Imam Hatip school graduate. So you feel this, and you just only feel this through your diploma. You also feel this through organizations. You know, every year they have like pilav days. Pilav, you know pilav, right? It's a Turkish rice. Every year they have organizations that bring together the alumni, students, teachers. We have songs written about Imam Hatip. So we have a Imam Hatip culture, I think, which is a good thing. But also, I think that you know that's culture. It might be different from the culture of other schools in Turkey. So there might be two cultures. Maybe we can talk about this. Fatih Hocam, İmam Hatip kültürü varsa bu o zaman ülkede iki farklı kültür olduğundan bahsedebilir miyiz?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so kind of there are two cultures, you know, one culture of Imam Hatip school
And,
culture. Yeah.
Ya şöyle ben söyleyeyim istersen bir tercüme daha şey olur. Biraz fırsat ya da birkaç dakika şey yaparsan ben birkaç yazıp çevirebilirim de. Aslında bu iki kültür meselesi Tanzimat öncesi mesele batılılaşmayla alakalı.
Hı hı.
Cumhuriyet öncesi dönemden gelen bir kültür geleneği var. Bununla alakalı da işte zemin bulan taraf güçlü olarak bir şeyleri hiyerarşi kurduğu için diğer taraf bunun mücadelesini yani iktidar talebinde bulunuyor, yani güç talebinde bulunuyor. Bu güç talebinde bulunma meselesi de bir şekilde İmam Hatipler üzerinden bir misyona dönüşüyor aslında. Doğrudan bir siyasi parti ekseninde değil ama toplumsal gruplar anlamında bir varoluş mücadelesi gibi. Aslında şimdi onu da yazıyordum. Yani Osmanlı İmparatorluğu'nun misyonunu üstlenmek, dini temsil etmek, ilahi kelimetullah gibi şeylerle mekanın sahibi biziz. Biz bunun mücadelesini vereceğiz gibi bir güç mücadelesine dönüşüyor. Batılılaşma ve batılılaşan grupla birlikte, Cumhuriyeti kuran grupla birlikte böyle bir rekabet alanı var aslında. Bu arada şunu fark ettim. YouTube'dan paylaşıyorlar. Onu da söyleyeyim. Yani yanlış görmediysen. Ona göre de dikkatli olmak lazım.
Evet. Yeah, that's we can say that there are two cultures. There are two, let's say, two groups in society. Maybe we can call one of them conservatives, people who still have Islamic values. They, I think, they are trying to practice their religion. They want the state to have like Islamic values, and also there is another part of the society which wants to modernize the country. So that's let's say that's conversation, that's struggle goes to the Ottoman Empire actually, from 19th century onwards. There's a kind of struggle between two segments of society, and Imam Hatip schools is part of this, maybe. Yeah. Well, these are difficult issues, so we can leave this there.
Yeah, right. Something interesting as well, you mentioned, Brother Mustafa and Brother Abdurrahman, regarding the design of curriculum. You said earlier how then Imam Hatip tried to show the balanced way of, let's say, inculcating the values of intellectuality, let's say, emotional intelligence, spiritual intelligence, right, and academic intelligence. For example, to some extent, you introduce the term irfani. That's a bit familiar for us. The term irfani, because it is used as well in the context of Muhammadiyah Muslim organization in Indonesia. We use that irfani. We in general term, sometimes we use, let's say, akhlak, right? But you introduce the term irfani. Would you please explain a little bit about how then the term used in the context of Imam Khatib, Irfani. Yeah, what do you think, brother?
Evet, irfan kavramını kullanmıştım. Onların da hani üniversite olarak, organizasyon olarak kullandıkları kavramlardan bir tanesi irfan kavramı, ahlak kavramı. Ama özellikle irfan kavramını çok kullanıyorlar. Bu kavramın hani İmam Hatip de anlamı nedir? Ses gelmiyor. We can't hear, I think.
It is difficult question. Ya
Yes.
Ya şöyle bunu İmam Hatip grubu kullanıyor ama şunu söyleyebiliriz. Yani İmam Hatiplerin entelektüel olarak söylem gücü var ama yazılı metinsel anlamda böyle bir entelektüel birikimi maalesef yok diyebiliriz aslında. Bilmiyorum, çok şey mi, zayıflatır mıyız?
Hmm.
Yani
So,
kavram
yeah, that's the discourse actually. That's the discourse used by Imam Hatip graduates, Imam Hatip teachers. So they try to instill irfan to students, but you will not be able to find much writing about this. So it's a kind of discourse, not written and very established theory maybe, but there's a discourse about this. You know, there's irfan. We use irfan, marif. You know, the similar word I think comes from arefa. Yeah. So, Fuat Hocam başka?
ben şunu sadece bir cümle söyleyeyim şuradan. Sesim geliyor mu?
Yes, yeah, we can hear you.
Being an Imam Hatip student is a journey and living phenomenon. It is not a movement that merely emerged from a theoretical or intellectual framework. Yani sadece geleneğe de dayanıyor diyebiliriz. Hani Osmanlı ve dine dayandırıyor. Yoksa bir
Yeah.
kişisel bir hareket, düşünsel bir hareketin sonucu değil.
Yeah, it's not like a movement. Maybe, you know, in Indonesia might be a kind of movement maybe. But in Turkey it's kind of a discourse. It's a kind of words used to connect Imam Hatip to Ottoman Empire, to Islamic values, to tradition.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, brother.
Bir de şeyi sorabiliriz. Muhammediye.
Yeah.
So we would like to learn about the Muhammadiyya. So it's a kind of movement in Indonesia, or so. What's the context of your university or the name?
Yeah. Muhammadiyah basically is the name of one of the biggest Muslim organization in Indonesia, beside Nahdlatul Ulama. Muhammadiyah was founded by Ahmad Dahlan, the founder of Muhammadiyah, of course, in 1912. In 1912, in November 1912. Of course, this organization was established before the independence of the Republic of Indonesia, declared in 1945. And then this organization, Muhammadiyah, has established many schools, madrasah, Islamic boarding schools, universities, including Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. Because there are more or less 177 Muhammadiyah universities across the country, across Indonesia. One of them is 177. More or less 170, yeah, Muhammadiyah universities located across Indonesia. And the name of this university, Muhammadiyah University, usually linked to the name of the city. For example, Yogyakarta. Yogyakarta is one of the cities in Indonesia. Small cities, but quite vibrant multicultural society or multicultural city. From Jakarta, capital territory, more or less capital territory, or capital city, I mean, more or less 1.5 hour by plane, or 6 until 8 hours by train from Jakarta. Have you visited Jakarta, Brother Abdurrahman and Brother Mustafa?
No, unfortunately.
Yeah. Hopefully that you are able to visit Yogyakarta in nearest future.
Inshallah. And also,
Inshallah.
And also we welcome you to Turkey. So if you come to Turkey, Sakarya is near to Istanbul. So if you come to Istanbul is the most famous city of Turkey. So Sakarya is very near, and Antalya is very beautiful city. So Brother Fatih lives. It is very
best holiday city in around the world.
Yeah. Not only in Turkey.
How many hours from Sakarya or Istanbul to
Sakarya to Istanbul
Antalya?
is just 1.5 or 2 hours by car.
2 hours. Yeah.
But from Istanbul to Antalya, I think it's better to take plane. So otherwise,
45 minutes on plane.
Yeah, by plane it's 45 minutes. But by car, I think it is arabayla 10-12 saat sürer mi?
9 saat, 10 saat anca, yani 12 saat otobüste.
Yeah, it's by coach, by bus. It is 10 hours, I think, from
10
Istanbul
hours.
to Antalya.
Yeah, it is like travel from Jakarta to Yogyakarta by coach or bus, more or less 10 hours. Yeah. So
you are in the same island with Jakarta?
Yeah, the same island. It is called Java Island.
Java Island. Okay.
Yeah. So we are able to.
You don't need to take ferry, right?
Jakarta?
No.
Yogyakarta? What is different? This name mean?
Yeah, they are only the name, brother. Of course, historically speaking, there are some explanation why then Jakarta known as Jakarta, or previously in the time of colonization of the Dutch, or the Dutch government, Jakarta previously named Batavia. Batavia, right? Yeah. After the Independence Day, and then gradually change to be Jakarta.
Jakarta. And your
Jakarta,
island is Java?
Java, Java Island.
Okay.
Exactly in the middle of the island.
It's different from Java, right? Java, there's also a term Java.
Yeah. Java in Indonesian language, right?
It's a language, right?
In English, Java. We usually call it Java. There are, in some of the division of provinces or state, there are Middle Java, Western Java, Eastern Java. Yeah. And located of these provinces or stated as the same, still in Java Island. Yeah.
I see. So it's good. It's good to have some information about Indonesia and
yeah, of course. One of let's say dreams of our students. Some of our students are able to continue their study in Turkey in master level, and also student exchange. They may be having a kind of, let's say, international seminar in Turkey, and hopefully that in future we are able to have more cooperation, academic cooperation, to make our student internationally exposed, and then also learn Turkish and also Turkish food.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
gifts.
inshallah.
Inshallah. Yeah. Again, thank you very much, Brother Abdurrahman and Brother Mustafa, for, let's say, presenting your ideas and sharing your ideas, experiences, especially Imam Khatib schools, and truly amazing and I think unique, because we are hearing that more or less right now, 5,000 number of Islam Khatib school, more or less 5,000. So we could imagine that the number of student and alumni, I think, have been working and, let's say, involved in many activities across Turkey, and then influence, the future development, and civilization, especially in Turkey and other world, in another world as well, and other part of the world. Okay, let's, before we close this meeting, is there any something you'd like to say more, Brother Abdurrahman and Brother Mustafa?
Fatih Hocam eklemek istediğin bir şey var mı?
Ben bir cümle yazacağım mı? Sen bir şey yap, ben döneceğim. Bir çeviri yapıyorum.
Yeah, well, I would like to thank you very much for listening and for also sharing your thoughts and also giving us some information about Indonesia and also Brother Mahfuz about Bangladesh. And for I would like to thank students for their questions. And yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And I also would like to thank you. It has been a wonderful conversation. God willing, I hope we will meet more often through various future collaborations. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Amin ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you, Brother Mustafa and Brother Abdurrahman, for sharing your experiences, your fruitful knowledge to all of us here, students. Right now, studying at Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta, located in Yogyakarta, Indonesia. The staff or department will share the certificate online for both speakers. Mas Tegar, would you please to share your screen, and then about the certificate that will be delivered to both speakers?
This one, sir? You
Yeah.
need to... Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you.
It is certificate dedicated to Associate Professor Dr. Abdurrahman Hendek. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. And then the second certificate, please, Mbak. One more certificate. Hello. All right. Okay, thank you. This certificate is also dedicated to Associate Professor Dr. Mustafa Fatih. Thank you very much, Dr. Mustafa, for coming and sharing your knowledge to our student in the Department of Islamic Religious Education, Universitas Muda Yogyakarta. All right.
Thank you very much.
Mbak. Yeah. Okay, everyone, semua mahasiswa, terima kasih atas partisipasinya. Mudah-mudahan kita bisa bertemu kembali di acara International Guest Lecture di masa-masa yang akan datang. Thank you for attending again, and big applause to Associate Professor Dr. Abdurrahman Hendek and Associate Professor Dr. Mustafa Fatih. Would you please to turn on your camera, everyone, and then we are taking picture for a while. Bisa dibuka semua on kamera sebentar aja. Oke. Okay, we'll take a picture. Okay. Yep.
Yeah,
One.
please share the pictures with us as well.
Yeah, of course, brother. Okay. Yeah. 1, 2, cheese. Okay. The second layer. 1, 2, cheese. Okay, one more. 1, 2, cheese. All right. Okay, thank you everybody, and thank you to Dr. Abdurrahman and Dr. Mustafa. And let's close this online session by reciting Hamdalah together. Alhamdulillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih, Pak.
Thank you,
Selamat
Pak.
yo semuanya. Thank you.
Amin.